A very warm welcome wherever you're watching us. I'm Paul Njie. Thanks for your company. First off, the Cameroon Journalists Trade Union now has a new president. She's called Marion Obam. She defeated her two opponents over the weekend by successfully grabbing half of the total votes cast. This was during the union's 5th National Congress here in Douala, which witnessed lots of hitches. Marion Obam takes over from Denis Kwebu, who in his time was very vocal about the plights of journalists in Cameroon. Primera Agbo now revisits the election.
Obam has been elected 5th president of the Cameroon Journalists Trade Union, held in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. She takes the lead with 54 votes against Aristide Ekambi, with 32 votes and 22 for Nathaniel Ngong. The former press journalist of French Daily Mutation was recently elected member of the Executive Council of the International Federation of Journalists, FIJ. As objectives, the president and bureau will be looking forward in strengthening the regional sections, most especially work for the protection of journalists. President highlighted the challenges she intends to tackle during her 3-year term of office. We are going to work hand in hand to ensure that both English and French languages become official languages at the Commission, like every other serious syndicate. Marion Obam takes over Denis Kwebu, who served as president for 7 years. Before her election as president, Dash News welcomed Marion Obam on one of its televised shows, Moi Femme, where she spoke of different challenges faced by women in the major field. There has been lots of work done with international recognitions done to ensure that Kawala heads a conference people attend. When she tweets, people respond. There was lots of push for women to be part of the National Assembly to have visibility. And today, when we need that information, not only men are called, but women are equally called. And it's no longer a question of sex, but that of visibility and competence alongside quality. I can boldly say, in this new era, women are demanded in the working milieu. During this 5th National Congress, Thierry Eba, Joseph Olinga, and Samuel Bonja got suspended for misconduct and non-respect of rules from the Commission after several deliberations. The Central region had no candidates, but however, to report to the Executive Bureau.
Well, it's a joyful moment for Cameroonian Muslims because the first batch of pilgrims have left for the Holy Land of Medina in Saudi Arabia. The 1,000 faithful left via the GAROUA International Airport in the North Region on Sunday. As Subiru MEDINA reports, Territorial Administration Minister Paul Atanganji, who also heads the National Hajj Commission, was there to supervise the departure process.
1,000 Muslim faithfuls set to perform the yearly Hajj left GAROUA North Region on Sunday, 26 June. Their plane took off at the GAROUA International Airport after Territorial Administration Minister Paul Atanganji, who is also the chairman of the National Hajj Commission, had made sure he supervised their flights and departure. The pilgrims from GAROUA are the first to leave Cameroonian soil to Saudi Arabia. According to the Hajj supervisor, the 1,000 pilgrims left on special flights, while 2,700 will benefit from the presidential grant and 1,500 are the very important personalities. A total of 4,300 Cameroonian pilgrims will travel to Mecca this year to perform the yearly ritual, which is considered the most important and 5th pillar of Islam. Those from Douala will be leaving on Tuesday, June 28, God willing.
In Cameroon's West Region, taxi drivers in BAFOUSSAM are furious over recent demands for them to have a second category license. They are prohibited from transporting passengers to other urban areas without this document. However, they argue that the first category license which they have permits them to do interurban transport. Governor Awafonka Augustine met with stakeholders to resolve the issue. More with Bibiana Shinitangvuma.
Despite explanations of the governor of the West Region, Awafonka Augustine, and the regional transport delegate on April 24, 2022, during a consultation meeting with taxi drivers of the city of BAFOUSSAM, these urban transporters do not want to integrate with their respective spheres of work, since they are registered in the municipality of the MIFI division and are holders of a first category license for urban transport. The bone of contention stems from the fact that the first category license grants them 40 kilometers around the town of BAFOUSSAM which does not extend to neighboring towns. In this case, it will be necessary to have a second category license which entitles them to an intercity transportation. This disparity has created tension between taxi drivers and the police who apply these instructions in the western region to prohibit these taxi drivers from crossing the Njie crossroads for another municipality. To better understand the situation, the officials of the National Union of Transporters in Cameroon stayed in the capital city of the West region. For taxi drivers, they believe this text cannot apply in BAFOUSSAM given its size as compared to the large cities. Thus, the stakeholders are working together to find a definite solution to this problem.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Newsroom right here on Dash News. Now, the Venita Menguela Foundation isn't joking when it says it is out to tackle mental health issues faced by Cameroonians. As a matter of fact, they carried out a sports walk in Boya to engage the people or tell them about mental illness. Not even the gloomy weather could stop them from distributing flyers and speaking to people about mental health. Once again, Bibiana Shinitamvuma takes up that story.
They talk the talk and walk the walk. The Venita Menguela Foundation recently carried on a therapeutic walk in Boya in a bid to push forward their work on mental health awareness. Alongside other groups, they moved from the Independence Square to the governor's office back to the start point. They were never silent at any point of their walk, as this was just another step of creating mental health awareness and combating the disease.
So this is the action piece to the awareness piece. We're adding it together. When you know better, you do better, okay? So exercise is one of the best medicine you can ever give yourself, especially for those who are suffering from depression. If you feel depressed, the moment you get active, just move your body. So we started off with a therapeutic walk, and we got all the way up here. While we were doing the therapeutic walk, we were having a therapeutic conversation about many things. So this is amazing. And the action we took here is also, we're all feeling good. As you can see, everybody's happy. Everybody's really glad we made it. Some people didn't think they were going to get all the way up here, but we made it. So I'm encouraging everyone at home, anyone, anywhere, even if you don't have medicine or you're feeling down, just get up and move. That action piece is very powerful, and you'll thank us later.
Some of the participants may have been caught in a web of mental disease or watched someone intimate go through the ordeal. The finalist of Miss Face of Cameroon, Fano Nora, joins this campaign after having lived the effect of the disease firsthand.
I'm Fano Nora, finalist of Miss Face of Cameroon. I recently won Supermodel Cameroon, and my advocacy is on mental health and depression. This is because mental health is relevant but a silent killer. It is underestimated, especially in an African society like ours where we know little or nothing about therapists and psychologists, counseling or anything. 2 years ago I lost my brother to depression and it really dragged me down. I know how I felt and it was a very bad feeling. I would not want any other person to feel this way.
They were totally unstoppable regardless the unfriendly weather. Tedious as the walk seemed, they forged ahead braving the odds.
We are at the governor's office now from Bongo Square. We've walked from Bongo Square right up to the governor's office.
And then came victory in its royalty.
First lady. First lady.
The Venita Menguela Foundation is determined to walk the full 9 yards to ensure that nobody is left out in the awareness and ability to kick mental illness out of Cameroon. They earlier organized free mental health screening in Yaoundé and Montengene while dishing out mental advice to dozens within the country. After doing this much, they say they are only just starting.
Great to see the ladies engaging in a sports walk, isn't it? In other news, civilians living in parts of Burkina Faso's north and southeastern regions have just 2 weeks to live ahead of a robust military operation against Islamist insurgents. The notification, which came from the army, does not specify where the civilians should relocate to, neither does it say how long the operation will last. For that story, here's Nadine Mebune.
The insecurity in Burkina Faso is a call for concern. As a means to battle Islamist militants active in the region, the West African country's army this week ordered civilians to leave 2 large military interest zones within 14 days. Inasmuch as this move is aimed at protecting them, it does not specify how long they would have to evacuate or where they should go. Sources say the government will provide support to the displaced, but for now, the government has not responded to queries. One of the military zones to be vacated is a rural area of around 2,000 square kilometers bordering Mali in the northern province of Soum, while the other covers about 11,000 square kilometers on the southern border with Benin and is mostly national park land. For now, it is not clear how many people reside in these areas. Burkina Faso has been battling Islamist militants active in the region, some with links to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State since 2015. The fighting has displaced more than 1.8 million people in Burkina Faso alone and killed thousands across the Sahel.
On to this sad one, family members, friends and fans of the late Nigerian gospel artist Osinachi Nwachukwu have bid farewell to their loved one. Osinachi was buried recently at her father's residence in Abia State. You might recall that her death back in April touched many people around the world. Take a look.
After almost a week-long activities from prayer sessions to concert intertwined by rituals, the Nigerian singer Osinachi Nwachukwu has finally been laid to rest. This happened over the weekend at her family house in Isochi Omunchi, a locality in Abia State, Nigeria. Her family and friends could not hold back their tears as her lifeless body was ushered in. In solemn but vibrant colors, the mourners laid her before all to see. According to some of her loved ones, she looked peaceful even at death. Some fans from around the globe have used her death to create awareness on domestic violence. Osinachi was initially said to have died from a throat disease, but upon investigation, it was realized she had suffered from domestic violence for several years. Her husband, Peter Nwachukwu, is currently standing trial for murder with a death penalty by hanging hovering over him. Osinachi Nwachukwu, the Nigerian gospel singer, now lies cold beneath the ground in her father's house where she was nursed to womanhood. The Osinachi Nwachukwu Foundation has been created in memory of her to drill women in entrepreneurship with hope to make them viable to stand tall against domestic violence.